Hey guys, what's up? RedBeerdBuilds here. I built this RD350 cafe racer. We are super close to the One Moto show, and I just wanted to make a video to showcase what I've done to this motorcycle and explain that all to you. Here's a quick shot of what it looked like before. It was super hard. There was a lot of ups and downs. I chopped the thing up and I put different components on it that were not meant to be on it. If you like it, if you hate it, or if you have some ideas, there's some things I would like to change on it. But shoot me a comment down below, like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. We did it. We made a motorcycle. 90% finish line. We got to the finish line where we can put this in a show and be comfortable with it. There's still some things that I need to do before the show, but man, what a process. I took the motor from the original bike and I rebuilt the bottom end. I put new pistons in it, put new rods in there, put new crankshaft, cleaned it all up. The surface was fine, so the bottom end was actually in pretty good shape. The top end was non-existent, so I didn't have any. I had to buy it. So I bought 3 different sets off of eBay, and the best set won. Unfortunately, I have some crappy heads that will no longer work for anybody, and I spent a bunch of money on them, but that's the nature of the beast. They are 66 millimeter bore or 65 millimeter bore. It's the last bore you can do before you pretty much need new heads. These don't last much past that. Luckily, this bike isn't going to be a track bike. Like, I'm not going to be ramping on it all the time, so it won't be that big of a deal. The RD carburetors, really a pain in the butt to tune. So I went with these flat slide carbs from KX85. So these are off a 2-stroke little dirt bike. It's what you see like teenagers riding. That coupled with some Banshee reeds and Banshee rubber boots, it gives me some longevity, ease of use, right? So it's much easier to find Banshee parts and PWK 28 parts than it is to find these old 1970s bike parts. It's just so much easier. And so that's why I went that route. I did a vape ignition system along with a VFR hydraulic clutch. And that is just drilled into the side with a backer plate. It functions pretty well. It has the VFR single-sided swing arm on the back. And that took a lot of work to get into the frame. I had to chop the entire back of the motorcycle apart and then do a new hoop here so that I could get it wider to fit the almost inch difference in width. If I had to do it all over again, I'd pick a different swing arm that might have fit inside the original frame, so I didn't have to do all that work. It would have saved me a bunch of time, but it wouldn't have been the same motorcycle. So hindsight, I would have liked to have found one that would have been a little easier, but in retrospect, this thing turned out super cool. The VFR rear shock actually sits out of center with the tire, so that looks really funky. It sits off to the left side a bit. It's out of center on the bike, and I don't like it, but didn't really have a choice because that's how it mounts. The shock is actually off of a GSXR 750 along with the front forks. I built the seat. I upholstered the seat. I built a frame underneath the seat, and then I fiberglassed a seat pan. And once that fiberglass was done, I actually sandwiched a bunch of carpet pad together to make the foam, and then I shaved all that foam into the contour of the bike. I'm by no means an expert at foam and upholstery or fiberglass. Those were all challenges for me. The upholstery turned out okay. You can tell that it's not perfect. I would like to see maybe something that covers this ridge line on the bike that holds the tank in a better place or holds it down, because there's no real grip on the back to hold the tank down. But it contours pretty well. There's a little bit of gapping here, but that's to be expected when you're building something like this. It's so hard to get it to sit perfectly. You've got some of those really good bike builders on YouTube and Facebook that are super good with sheet metal and all these lines and making it all perfect. And those guys are really good, and it's hard to do. So this is not got a lot of sheet metal work because that's hard to do. So, and even body work, filling body work for paint and stuff, like I am terrible at. Cool. So I painted the tank, I did all the sanding on it, I peeled the old paint, I did the body work, and then I did a couple step paint job where I sanded the metal down first with a grinder to polish it up so that I could get this metal look to come through with the transparent paint. So then I did the transparent paint, and then I did the 2K satin black on top of that. And you know what? For a rattle can paint job, it turned out really well. Although that 2K paint, I think it's Spray Max, if I'm correct, that 2K paint is a pain in the butt. And half the cans came and they didn't work, and I had to return them and get new cans, and it doesn't go very far, but man, does it harden and it's hard as a rock when it's done. And it works pretty good. So it's a 2-part like epoxy or something paint. Somebody will correct me. I used a X21 control module in here, and that is by like Northwest Cyclotronic, I think is what they're called. I used the 2-button momentary switch one. So basically I have 2 buttons that control everything on the bike: the turn signals, the headlight. There's really not much else to control on the bike. I could do a couple more things with it. Horn, all that stuff could be controlled with it with like 2 buttons. I don't have a horn on this motorcycle. If you don't hear me coming with the exhaust, there's something wrong with you anyway, so a horn's not going to help. I use the Moto Gadget Motoscope Mini on the dash. There's a button on there that controls the motoscope, and that goes through all the settings. So we've got the rev counter, miles per hour, we've got odometer, hours, settings, all those things we can change and adjust and check out. I did a custom brake line for the back brake. I did a custom chain guard. I just cut that out here recently. I made these frame mounts for the foot pegs. I did purchase these aluminum foot peg sets off eBay. There's a guy that mills them, and he does a really good job. They're not very expensive for what they are, so I purchased his kit, and then I took them in and had them anodized along with a bunch of other parts I had anodized. Exhaust is a Jim Lomas stainless steel exhaust. I did not build this one. However, I do plan on building one in the future that maybe brings the exhaust up through here so that it kind of just tucks up under this wheel. I would like to have them come up and both tuck right here under the wheel because there's this big space here and it'd be nice to utilize it. On the underside, there is this mesh, and this mesh was really cool. I was just walking around the steel scrapyard, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I wonder if I could do something with it. And so I purchased it, and then I never used it for years. I've had it for years. It's been sitting on my shelf. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, that'll be cool. Let's use that. So I put it in here. I welded it in. At first I was like, man, that might be a mistake because if dirt gets in there, it's going to be a mess. And it will be. It's still a mistake, but it looks really cool. I like it anyway. The headlight also has that mesh in it. So you can see that I tried to match things on the bike. Like this radius right here matches the rear tire radius. Tried to keep some of the lines steady. It's really hard to get perfect lines when you're just chopping stuff apart and putting different parts on it. My trail angle was really important to me. So when I mounted it on the bench and got the jig all put in, having a trail angle that was going to be steady and comfortable, but also nimble was really important. And I feel like I found that. We went with the Vans grips just because, come on, Cafe Racer, some Vans shoe grips. Let's go. The headlight was really a homage to the Cafe Racers, right? Because it's got the X, and so that X, they used to put tape on their headlights to keep them from shattering all over the place if they wrecked on like racetracks and stuff. And I think at some point it just kind of became a fad, and they just still X'd them, and just, it's a cafe racer. They put an X on the front with electrical tape. I didn't want to put a round headlight on this bike. I'm not super happy with the headlight that's on it, but I wanted to put a headlight that kind of was my own style. LED little mini light bar, and it's got a flood beam on the sides and a spot beam in the middle, so it's got a good range. And then I did LEDs behind a matte plexiglass with some more of this mesh metal to kind of give myself that difference for the cafe racer style. So that's how I did that. Hopefully you like it. Let's check it out riding. Let's see it go. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate that. I hope you like this beast of a two-stroke, and until next time, thank you.